So this next mode we're going to do is called an unfolded scale mode. This one that we did is called a folded scale, or at least that's what I call it. And so in order to get to that, you just press scales button, and you just press this button which says in key, and you press it again and it says chromatic. So what we're gonna play with is the chromatic scale, or the chromatic mode. So what it is a C major scale with all the outer scale notes in it as well. So what you see here on the layout is something that is a cross between a guitar and a piano or a keyboard. And this is how it is. All the lit keys that you see, including the blue one, are all the C major keys. So all the lit keys that you see are the white keys, or the natural keys on the keyboard, starting with the C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, back to C. The blue is of course the root, and the unlit keys that you see here are the black keys. So this becomes the C sharp or a D flat, this becomes a D sharp or an E flat, this becomes an F sharp or a G flat, this becomes a G sharp or an A flat, and this becomes a B flat or an A sharp. So if you're a guitar player, this layout will be very much at home for you. And if you're a keyboard player, I would advise you to just leave the root key of the scale to C and let the mode be C major. That is if you're an advanced keyboard player and you like to use your sharps and flats, and you know where your black keys are and what the black keys are called and all of that. But if you're a beginner, of course, you can change the key to whatever you want. This is how it's laid out. It's basically laid out in perfect fourths. Each row is a perfect fourth above the row below it. So it goes something like C, F, B flat, E flat, and so on. So if you're a bass guitar player or a guitar player, these four strings are your bottom strings, and these are additional four strings on top, but they're not tuned in thirds like it is on the guitar, on the 6-string guitar, between the G and the B string. This is all tuned in fourths. So the shapes that you know, say for example the major chord shape, so all the chord shapes that you know on the guitar will be valid here, but only those shapes that exist between the 3rd and the 6th string. So maybe, you know, if you're playing a G chord, it would go something like this, and an F chord, it's the same shape as it is on the guitar. So if you want to learn this mode, I would advise you to start learning some guitar chords. So I would highly recommend that you learn this mode. You'd be able to play all the keys, and especially if you're a guitar player or a keyboard player, this one will make a lot of sense to you. And if you want to learn it more, it's a good idea to get some guitar books and only follow the chords and the scale shapes that exist on the strings from the 3rd to the 6th, the bottom 4 strings. So if you're a guitar player, you'd be familiar with shapes like or the pentatonic, with one exception, that typically when you're going from the 3rd to the 2nd string on the guitar, the strings are tuned in thirds, but here everything is in fourths, so you'd have to change the shape just a bit. Or so you have all your shapes. So With this mode, whatever shape you're playing will be only true for that type of chord. The layout will not take care of the scale for you. So what I mean by that is, if you're playing this shape, that's your major triad, but if you move here, it's still going to be a major triad, and it's going to still be a major triad, so you'd have to flatten the third. The advantage of this is that if you're playing, say, this shape, it'll always be a seventh. It won't be anything else. Or this is a seventh. So all the chords you know on the guitar, or you learn from the guitar books, will work here as well. One advantage this instrument would have over the guitar is that on the guitar you can only play one note on one string. So you won't be able to play anything like this on a guitar, or on a guitar you won't be able to play this. You'd have to distribute the notes on the different strings on the guitar, but here you can play as many notes on the same row that you want. All the shapes that you know on your guitar will work here as well, like so. Hopefully all the discoveries that I shared with you are helpful to you, and you can also share what you discover, and we can take this instrument forward. Thank you.